Girl, stop playing. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Stop Playing podcast. It's your favorite homegirl, Koereyelle, here to encourage you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. Because I truly believe, and I'm living proof, that you can make the money and you can get the honey. You can have it all if you are willing to work. And it is my goal to bring you the conversation and the information that you need to really move yourself into your next season so that you can start experiencing the life that you deserve to live. Now, this week's solo show, like y'all already know, okay? Y'all already know that God gets me together in a real special way. It's almost as if he really like checks me and then challenges me just to see how bad I want the things that I've been so-called working for. Just how prepared am I for the things that I've been praying for? And sometimes, y'all, I'm going to be honest, sometimes along the way, I can get off track and lose sight of the goal. And it's really because I've lost sight of God. Don't judge me, y'all. Okay. Don't judge me. I like to keep it real. I like to share my lessons learned. So listen, I was speaking at an event a few weeks ago and they asked me about my biggest challenges in business. And instead of me rattling off a list of my losses, my response was, well, the biggest challenges I've ever faced personally or professionally came when I thought I could do God's work without God. It was the times that I got so caught up in doing the thing that I lost sight of, like the real purpose behind the thing. Like, what was I really working for? I got so caught up in the work that I lost sight of what I was truly working for and who I was truly doing it for. And so as God continues to get me together and put things back in focus for me, I feel led to just share my lessons learned in hopes that they can help someone. And so the title of this week's solo show is God Don't Like Ugly. You already know the teacher in me, like the ugly is an acronym. The ugly stands for just four of the biggest things that we got to let go of so that we can truly become the woman that God created us to be, who's capable of doing the work that we are being called to do. I believe that there's a mission that you are meant to be on, something that you were sent here to do. And if you get lost in the sauce of what society says to do, what society says you should worry about, what society says you should aspire to be, you won't be able to stay focused for long enough to truly get what God has for you. Okay. So let's get into it. 4 things that we got to be willing to let go of if we're really going to do God's work. Number 1, the you in ugly is for ungrateful, y'all. Okay. And y'all, I might ruffle some feathers, might snatch some edges, but this is all me talking to me. Okay. Y'all just listening in. So the you is for ungrateful. Being ungrateful is literally telling God that you don't appreciate what you have. And usually we do this by being so caught up in what we don't have. So you're telling God that you don't appreciate what you do have by being so caught up in what you don't have, complaining about what we wish we had, and not even acknowledging what we've been blessed with. And regardless of how uncertain your circumstances may currently be, there is something that you are experiencing right now that you once prayed for. There's something that you have right now that you couldn't wait for. And so it's important that we spend just as much time, just as much energy thanking God for what we've been blessed with as we do going to him begging for new blessings. Let me say that again. It's important that we spend just as much time and energy thanking God for what we've been blessed with, just as much time doing that as we spend time going to God begging for new blessings. So we got to spend time every single day giving thanks. And you can do that by simply making a gratitude list in the morning when you wake up or before bed at night. Or you can do that by saying a prayer of gratitude and truly giving thanks for the things that you're currently experiencing, even if they're not ideal circumstances. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, focusing on what isn't going right, think about all of the things that are working out for you. Think about all of the things that you have been blessed with instead of focusing on your burdens. I truly, truly believe that what you think about and think about is what you bring about. And so that means you only have time entertaining positive thoughts full of gratitude. One of the simplest ways to show God that you're grateful is by taking care of what you have right now. You show God what you're ready for based on how you treat what's already been given. You know what they say, like, how can you expect God to bless you with 1,000,000 if you having trouble struggling managing 1,000? Make it make sense. The math ain't mathing. Number 2, the G in ugly is when you go against yourself. Do y'all realize that you are the only one with the power to dictate your destiny? We spend so much time sabotaging ourselves and our success with our limiting beliefs, lack mindset, spirit of comparison, and time spent worrying about how the world sees us. Going against yourself is when you speak down on yourself. It's when you allow those thoughts to creep in and keep you from following your calling. It's when you get so caught up in what other people think that you allow their opinions to overshadow God's promise. Sinning is literally when you go against yourself. Okay? When you go against your master and you are the master of your fate, right? You're the captain of your soul. Knowing that God created you to fulfill an assignment, we know that God created us to fulfill an assignment, but we allow fear to block us from following the plan and living out our purpose. When was the last time you hyped yourself up about how amazing and capable you are? When was the last time you took time to appreciate all that you've survived and how you managed to still thrive? When was the last time you celebrated yourself for not giving up and giving in? You may be down, but you ain't out. And every time it gets rough, you get tough and God gets you through. And so, sis, you got to put some respect on your own name and get real about who you are and whose you are. You got to stop going against yourself if you're going to get to what God has for you. The L in ugly. Whew, God sure don't like us being loyal to those who don't love us. Hello, somebody. If you ain't there right now, we've all been there. It's one of the worst things you can waste your time doing, and one of the fastest ways to show God that you're willing to settle for something less than what he designed you for. It's literally an insult to exchange energy and time and connection with people who don't show you that same care. It's almost like telling God, like, God, listen, bro, listen. I know you might have something or someone better for me, but I'm too bored or I'm too broken to hold out for what you have. So I'm just going to settle for what I can get. Imagine, y'all, imagine God's well-designed blueprint for your life, like this lavish, grand, luxurious life that you are meant to live. And God looking at you, you looking at him, he looking at you, because you over here settling for debt, delusion, destruction, and another D that I'm not going to say, but y'all know which D. That is nothing but a waste of your time. Not even worth your time. He's like laying out this blueprint and you over here wasting time with what you think you deserve, but it's really just your desire at this moment. So take a look at the people you've been spending the most time with and exchanging the most energy with, and ask yourself the tough question. Are you being loyal to someone who doesn't love you? Is it reciprocal? Are you gaining something? Moving right along, number 4. The Y in ugly brings us to God not liking you, relying on you. When you start relying on you, it's like we always like to say, We're going to give it to God. I'm going to just give this over to God. So we say we're giving it to God, and then we try to give it to him while dictating to him what to do with it. And then when our faith runs out because what we wanted didn't happen for us fast enough, we want to take matters into our own hands and try to handle things. The whole time, God is like, girl, stop playing. You are not Olivia Pope. It will not be handled until you hand it over. Truly handing it over and letting it go. All of your burdens, all of your worries, all of your desires, all of your dreams, all of your questions, all of your dilemmas. There is nothing that you are dealing with that God is not ready to lead you through. Nothing too small, nothing too silly, nothing too frivolous, but you got to put your pride aside for long enough to go to God and then get quiet enough for long enough to hear from God. You can't trust you because your decisions are based on your perception. And baby, your perception is not reality. It's based on your insecurities. It's based on heartache, PTSD from that last fool that tried to play you. It's based on mistrust, abuse, and a distorted view. But God has every answer, even before the question is asked. He has the direction because he designed your destiny. And you're doing yourself a disservice every single time you waste time trying to rely on yourself instead of spending your time taking it to God. Regardless of who you are, where you are, or what you're going through, it is my desire that you truly understand that God has something for you. But God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. So you got to get over that spirit of being ungrateful. You got to stop going against yourself by doubting yourself. You got to stop wasting your time being loyal to people who don't love you. And you really got to stop trying to depend on you when God got you. He's already working on things behind the scenes on your behalf. And so it is my prayer that someone somewhere is able to keep fighting for what God has for you. Because all you got to do is get through this thing, and you don't have to do it alone. But by getting through the thing that's right in front of you, God is going to bring you into that thing that he has for you. I hope you're feeling inspired, encouraged, and ready to stop playing with your potential so you can finally go after what God has for you. I love you. See you on the next episode.